on every channel. Here we are. Yay. All right. So welcome everybody to the third annual virtual career fair. For those who've been with me the last week plus, thank you for coming back and being so diligent. This is another great interview today that we're having for the career fair. And for those who are new to this career fair, my name is Jamie Taylor. I'm the CEO of the Black Golf Directory. And I started this virtual career fair for the purpose of educating people, specifically my people, Black people, about all the great opportunities that the golf industry has. Because, I can tell you right now, I golfed my whole life. And when I was, high school, college, even younger, I just never knew all the opportunities outside of playing at a golf course and teaching at a golf course. So the company that we have today is in clubs. For those of you who are familiar, they were known as Club Court before. They have two team members joining us today that are both representing the admin side or the headquarters side, and then we have one the green grass side. So I'm going to bring them both in on our Instagram and other streaming platforms so that you can meet them both. So give me one moment, bear with me as I bring them in. Okay, we are getting everybody in here. Yes, magic. I love it when it all comes together. So I'm going to have them introduce themselves. I'm going to start with Shamika Foster, who represents the headquarters of Invited Clubs. So Shamika, can you tell everybody, obviously, your job title and what you do at Invited Clubs?
Yes, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having us today to learn more about Invited Clubs. I am Shamika Foster, as Jamie said. My title is Director of Charitable Programs. So I run all of our community engagement programming, as well as any corporate giving, charitable giving side of it, and a little bit of diversity and inclusion from a committee side. I serve on the DEI Council. But we're happy to be here today. Hopefully, you'll learn a lot about our company and the opportunities and a little more about us and our backgrounds.
Thanks, Shamika. And I want to bring on Clay Myers. Clay, can you introduce yourself?
Having me again, Jamie. Appreciate it. And being on this platform with Shamika, it's great to see. But my name is Clay Myers. I am the head golf professional at the clubs of Prestonwood Hills Course. I work for Invited Clubs as well. And kind of what I do on a day-to-day, I manage the golf operations at a golf course, from the staff to the events to teaching to merchandising, kind of all the above. So it's been fun being here, and I've enjoyed it.
So now that everybody's got to know my guest, I want to ask if she could just tell who may not be familiar with Invited Club. For those who just joined us, this is a club. What is Invited Clubs exactly? Like, what are they known for? What do they do? And kind of why would people want to get involved with your organization?
Yes, so Invited Clubs is the largest private club management company in the world. So not just the US, in the world, because we have some properties that are international. So imagine as Clay said, he works for Prestonwood. So we own or manage over 200 properties across the country, and again, 2 international clubs. So we have a portfolio, and we go in and we manage country clubs. We also have we call them social networking clubs, like more of business networking. So those are called city clubs. They're usually in like a beautiful high-rise building, and we typically have the very top of it. We also have stadium clubs. So at your Boston College, at Baylor University, at Texas Tech, University of Texas. So we have clubs that we manage within college stadiums, as well as we just started about 2 years ago during the pandemic. We started opening entities called Big Shots, which is kind of like a Top Golf. but ours are more on a, elevated level because we have really good, like food and seating, as well as the golf part. So that's a new line of business for us as well. So they're all about golf, but also, again, the hospitality side. Again, we have chefs, so everything is not just golf, but our city clubs is also something similar to like a restaurant, but again, they are privately managed and you have to have memberships. So that's the gist about just every single country club. We have over 200 of them that we manage, and we own 4. So we own 4 of them. And then that's the business model, just making sure our members have great experiences, learn the game if that's one of their goals, with pros like Clay that are at the clubs. And again, there are jobs all around. Even like he said, we have private events that are at our clubs. But the goal is club management. And then we also have the new big shots.
All right, so that was a great overview. So just for those who hopped in, we're with Invited Clubs, formerly Club Corp, and we were just talking about all the things they have to offer as far as their business. And so the biggest thing that I learned from doing this career fair last year with you all is that you all are not just golf management company. You actually have clubs like dinner clubs. And in fact, I think I celebrated a friend's birthday once at a dinner club, which I don't live that life very much, but it was kind of cool to just be going to this random venue, like you said, at the top of this, I guess, business building and having a nice meal. And, I think that eventually people got drunk and started dancing at some point. But the point is that's like also a part of your, what you have available as far as membership for your club. So, being in the golf space myself, just never thinking that there could be more to the private golf club life beyond just going to play golf and being at a private club. So that was kind of cool to see. So Clay, I know you're representing the green grass side, or you guys have a different terminology for it, but can you talk a little bit about your facility specifically? Because I know they're all kind of different as far as what they offer. So I know golf is maybe one component, but what is the other opportunities that you guys offer at your facilities?
Yeah, so we are a 36-hole facility. We have 2 clubs here. One's called the Creek Course. I'm at the Hills Course. We have separate clubhouses though, so they're like 10 miles apart from each other, which is kind of rare in invited clubs. I think it's maybe only 2 or 3 other clubs that has different clubhouses. But I'm at a good property. Like I said, Prestonwood Hills. We're in Plano, Texas. And we have, opportunities here as far as, events. We have a great food and beverage staff here, great instruction here. And then as well as all my golf shop staff as well, from outside service positions to golf shop staff to assistant golf professionals. So kind of, all around good golf experience here. And, like Shamika said, we try to do the best we can to provide for our members and make sure they have a good time.
So Clay, you kind of touched on the next thing I want to talk to the audience about. So of course, this is the virtual career fair. We're with Invited Clubs for those who just joined us. And obviously the biggest part of a career fair is learning about career opportunities. So I'm going to ask Shamika to kick it off with, at the headquarters of Invited Clubs, which remind the audience, please, where that's located. Can you tell us kind of what opportunities there are, and, are there some non-golf opportunities there? And also just tell people if you're a golfer, because I think people should know your background.
Well, I'll start off with, I am not a good golfer. I can go putt. I like to, let everybody get their balls up to the green, and then I will put it in for you, or drive the golf cart and go get everybody drinks. So I can do either one. But I actually used to run golf tournaments. So I've had tournaments in Jamaica, the Disney courses in Biloxi, Mississippi, Vegas. So I know the game. I just don't play very well. So I'll start with that. And don't judge me. So that's number 2. Okay. So headquarters is actually in Dallas, Texas, but home office positions, some of them are remote. Like we have people in HR that live in Boston, people live in Houston. We do not have to be in the office unless the position is specific to you have to be in office. So that's the good part, that you can work for us remotely. Social media, marketing. We have membership, people who work with our members, but they are not at the club. They work kind of like regionally, have a set of regions. But I like to say every job that's out in the traditional business space, like your attorneys, paralegals, people who do graphic design, we have all of those jobs at Invited. And what I like to say is, I mean, who wouldn't want to like do, you know, accounting, finance, but still get the perks of I can play golf? Because one of our benefits is that we have a membership. You know, we can go play golf. We could go to the club you mentioned, Jamie, about, you know, eating. So I can do my job, passionate about things that I want to do in my career. But then I also get the beautiful perk of actually getting to play the courses and have, you know, eat at the nice restaurants that we manage. So every career is there. We also have, and I love this part, that we also have a program for military veterans. We work with the Department of Defense, and we take, it's kind of like a cohort. So we had 19, it's called Skill Bridge. We had those, they rotate in, and then hopefully by the end of it, they slide into a position. So we also try to work with, you know, other groups to make sure, like the veterans, that, you know, we are hiring from different pools of people. So I love the fact that we have a Skill Bridge. But at corporate, every job that you have, you know, administrative assistants, like every job, we have it in golf. And there's so much opportunity, because if you think about it, especially for minorities, like how many people do you know that work for a golf management company? So a lot of people just don't think about working in golf, at least at the corporate side. So we have lots of jobs open just across the country. So no matter where you live, and again, some of the positions you don't even have to live in Dallas, Texas.
Well, that was a great overview. And obviously, you know, that's, again, everybody, just the jobs at headquarters for Invited. I'm going to kick it over to Clay so he can give you a little more a background on the actual golf courses and kind of what they have to offer at their facilities. So go ahead, Clay. Can you share some of that with the group?
Yeah, so most golf courses in Invited start with, well, it starts with Dave Pillsbury, our CEO. Then you got our regional directors, and then underneath them we have our GMs, which kind of run most of the clubs. Then we have our club managers. Then you have directors of golf positions, head pro position like myself, assistant golf pro positions, and then you have your outside supervisors, and then outside attendants. And so those kind of the positions that you have at the golf course. And I started as a outside attendant at a course, not with Invited, but I kind of worked my way up there. Then I went to a public course, and I was there for probably 2 or 3 years. And I will encourage everybody that wants to get in the golf industry, that has, you know, a background playing golf, or, you know, you really need to have background playing golf, but to get your, to get your PGA. So to get your PGA certification, because that's what kind of took me to the next level in my golf career. You know, when I was working on the public side, I was working towards my PGA certification. But once I finally got it, a lot of doors opened up for me. And that's how I was able to get this head pro position at a country club. But, you know, part of that process is you do have to play 2 rounds, 36 holes in a day. And most of the time you have to break 80. So you have to shoot like 160 for 2 rounds. And that's kind of the toughest part for most people getting in, because after that, everything is all book work and computer work, which, you know, in our generation, you kind of got to have to, you know, a little bit of that. but getting your PGA certification is, I think is, paramount to, having a position like mine, head pro position or director golf position, really sets you up and teaches you everything you need to know for this position. And then it also increases your pay as well. So, like I said, I would encourage people to do that. But those kind of positions at the golf course, and I love being here. I had a background playing professional golf for a little while, and I played college golf at Jackson State University, and after that, like I said, I tried to play tour for a little bit. Didn't quite work out. Then I started teaching with the First Tee here in Dallas, and once I got in the First Tee, I started seeing these different golf courses and assistants there, and I was like, you know what, I think I could do that as well. And I kind of set out on that path to get my PGA, and I did mine in about 2.5 years, and it's been great ever since.
Jamie, can I just add, for the non-golfers that are on the watching, inside the club, you also have people like doing parties and event coordination. You have those roles. You have people that do sales and try to, get members to join. So there are some non-golf related jobs, even office managers. So most of the courses have someone that just, does the accounting, does, the payroll. So you do have some non-golf related positions at the club level as well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I definitely know, at least just starting out, and I was going to have Clay touch on this. Clay's a superstar, obviously, and he's an advocate for the PGA, which I'm not hating on. But, on the other, like when you're just getting in the golf industry, and I started at age 14 caddying. So, although I did golf at the time, some of those entry-level jobs at the golf courses don't necessarily require you to play. However, it's helpful if you want to play, because then you get the perk of obviously being able to use the facility for free. So, Clay, can you actually explain, like, what's the youngest, you all hire in regards to like working at the pro shop or working outside, and kind of, what are the benefits of kind of getting in at that level, you would say, for someone who might want to work in golf?
Yeah, absolutely. So we hire at 16 here. You have to have a valid driver's license. Do have to, there's a lot of driving golf carts, so we want to make sure everybody can drive around safely and not hurt anybody. But yeah, 16 is the age here, and it's a great summer job. It's a great school job. I got about 5 or 6 high school kids now that come after school and work for 3-4 hours, and they make tips, and it's a pretty chill environment. They get to work outside and get to talk to members, and probably their favorite part, they get to drive around in golf carts. But you got to keep the reins on them a little bit. But it's a great entry level job, especially if you have any interest in golf. I would say most of the people that we do have that work at country clubs or even public courses, it's all about the members that you meet at the golf course. So a lot of these kids, they work at a golf course for a little bit of time, and they meet the right member, and that member's looking for somebody at their company. And I think it's just a great place to network when you're that age, and just a great place for opportunities as well. So.
Yeah, you got a lot of friends in the comments, by the way, Clay. They said you need to put on a seminar. Before, I'm definitely here to see you. You're the superstar for sure. So I want to know, and this is I think the part where the Black Golf Directory really, this is like the mission, right? It's to get more of us into the industry in any form. So I'll just share with the audience, as a person of color working in the environment that you're in, like, how is it that you're able to thrive? And you, of course, Shamika, although you did have the background of working golf tournaments and events, like, what made you decide to come to an invited clubs? Because obviously you could have had any opportunity to work at any of these sports agencies. So just kind of from that perspective, can you share with the audience about that? And I'll start with Shamika first.
Thanks, Jamie. So yes, I don't play golf, but I actually have a master's in sports administration. And my background actually started in the sports space in football. So I've done so much in the NFL, working with players and working with the NFL to do special events like football camps and, just parties and things like that. So the reason why this job was very interesting to me, the same thing you're thinking about, the first thing I said was, there are no Black people, right, that I have seen that work. And I know it's a few, but not like NFL, NBA, things like that. So what drew me to it was because this company is really about changing the paradigm, right? And we're trying. And so I'm glad we're on this call because we want y'all to apply for jobs that we have, because we can't change it if we don't have people going after the jobs, right? We are wanting to welcome people into the company, but it was very interesting for me because of my background in nonprofits plus sports. And so to come into golf that is very underrepresented with minorities, with women of color. So I'm a double minority, right? I thought it would be a good opportunity to have a seat at the table and to try to, make sure that we're working with the right organizations and we're having the right presence in the community. And because I was like, if I don't do it, do we just continue the same old same? So we do work with First Tee, but I've also started expanding that to like non-golf things, because as we know, sports can be a powerful community agent. Because it's, again, any tragedy, like the first thing in the sports world is, donating money, or we're, out feeding people or giving out turkeys during the holidays. So we definitely have to do more, but we're on the right track. And I just thought it was a great opportunity for, if anything, this could be a legacy of my time on earth, to just, kind of have some programs that are in place long after, I leave the company. So.
And Clay, that was that was really good. Clay, can you share with the group? It sounds like you're obviously a golfer and you've been in the sport, but you know as well as I do that it's not the most diverse sport. So, what has your experience been like, and what's the impact you feel like you make being in this position at the invited clubs?
Yeah, playing golf since the age of 8. Most of the time always been the only Black person in the golf tournament, at the golf course. But going to Jackson State was really good for me, HBCU, and I look at schools like Maryland Eastern Shore, who has their PGA program, and they're got students graduating with their PGA. I think they're doing wonderful things. But just to be, a Black man and at a head pro, I don't know how many other ones out there, but it was tough to see, and that's why I really like Invited, because they gave me a chance. I can't tell you how many times I applied at, quote unquote, more for like different golf courses, country clubs, and just got turned around for whatever reason, and but Invited gave me a chance to be a head pro, and I've been thriving here. I got a great staff here. I got 2 assistant professionals, a golf shop attendant, about 6 starters, about 10 outside staff, and we've been doing great this year. We had a great year, better than last year. I know it's still kind of COVID last year, but our numbers have been doing good. So I just thank Invited for giving me a chance to step into this role and to represent. Being an African American male on the country club side. So I thank them for that.
No, that's a great point, Clay. And I can definitely relate, because it's very few clubs, unfortunately, in the golf world that will give us an opportunity to thrive and even just a chance. I mean, here you're coming in, played at a D1 school that was dominating HBCU world and beyond. you played at a high level. I mean, you had to be a superstar and you still didn't get some of the opportunities at other facilities. So it's good to hear that, you know, that was kind of what Invited Clubs did, just say, hey, you know, we'll take a chance. We want to have you grow here with us. And it sounds like you're really happy there, which is really good. And, you know, being the only one. So with that, I want to ask you one more follow-up question about that, Clay. You know, now that you're there and you mentioned you have young people that are working for you and at the golf course, because that's typically what happens. You get the seasonal employees, they're high school, college students that just want to make some cash, get some time to practice. Are you able, have you been able, how have you been able to grow the diversity there and especially at a private club with those people? Or do you just find that people are naturally attracted to working for you because they see a Black man in your position? Like, how does that work for you?
Yeah, I wish I could. I really want to go to one of these high schools over here and just be like, you, come over here and apply to work for me. But I've actually had a lot of guys who I played golf with here in the city. They've joined this club since I've been here. A lot of Black guys. So I've grown our membership numbers, the Black people. Our food and beverage side, I think once I came, I'm not gonna say it's because of me, but we got more on our food and beverage side now. You know, this club's starting to get a little bit more diverse, and I think the members are liking it. The staff is liking it. We're getting, you know, all different points of views, and I think it's been great. But I definitely want to find a way where I can, you know, reach out to the high school kids or even college kids that live in this area that are African American. I'm in Plano, Texas, which is it's a nice area. So you know, it's kind of hard to find a lot of Black people around here, but if they are around here, I would love to give you opportunity to work at a golf course, to learn about you know, just building your character, building your self-esteem, and even teaching you a little golf on top of that. So I love to give, you know, those kids opportunity.
Yeah. And sorry, to Clay's point, people refer people. Like if you know people that want to work in the industry and may not know our opportunities are posted, it may not be for you, but if you know people that want to, just like Clay said, there are entry points, or if you're a seasoned professional, we have jobs for that. I think a lot of it is just like Clay said, people hadn't heard of prior, it was Club Corps, but everybody will go, what is that? What company is that? Because again, I don't know too many people that know other people that run a club or work at a club. And so this was a foreign world besides just playing golf. But once you're exposed and your friends start to, you know, say, well, what did you do today? Or they get to come and enjoy, you know, I'm sure Clay's had friends play rounds with him, that you realize like, wait, this is really cool. And so I'll have friends to say, oh, how can I be a member? Or I applied for a job. So now they start looking for our jobs because we work here. So, but refer people, you know, and that's a part of corporate side. We probably do need to do more, as Clay was saying, like reaching out to the HBCUs, reaching out to, you know, maybe First Tee, because you'll have the students that are, you know, graduating and they could come back and work for our clubs. So we're in most of the states, not all 50, but most of them. So we could do a lot better, and that's what we're saying, but we're trying. And it's things like this platform, Jamie. So thank you, because we met, you know, like 2 years ago, but again, we just want to say, okay, let's use this opportunity to get the word out. So hopefully people will continue to share that Invited is one of those companies. Doesn't have to be PGA, doesn't have to be PGA of America. We're in the space as well, the largest private management company for golf clubs.
Thanks for that. And just for everyone who just joined in, yeah, they're the largest and they are international. So for those who want to explore moving outside the country, that's also something to look into if you work for Invited Clubs. I wanted to touch on something you said, Shamika, in regards to, you know, how to engage youth. You know, the thing that brought me into the golf industry as an employee was, yes, I was already at the golf course. I was with a youth program, not first tee at the time. I'm a little bit older than first tee. But, the pro at the course, saw these juniors and said, hey, when you're ready, come see me at 16. I'll have a job for you. And he kept his word. And when the time came, that's when I started working at the club that I was, at. And I was at a private club, just to be clear, but at the golf course that I was, playing in my youth program. And that kind of, was what brought me into it. And to be honest, the initial perk was obviously, which I'll have you talk about more, the free golf benefits, because my parents couldn't have paid for me to be playing golf 4 or 5 days a week and going to the driving range and paying for lessons. That's just an insane amount of money. But when you work at a facility as a youth and adult, but as a youth who's trying to like maybe take their game to the next level, if nothing else, working at a golf course is an easy way to get your practice in, make it affordable, so it's not an issue. And since I was working there anyway, I could go there before work, after work, and practice my game. And so, I think people, when you talk about growing the game, yes, you want to bring in those local kids, but sometimes you got kids right there in that youth program that might be able to join, or if you have in the area that you can say, hey, when you all are ready, come see me. I think that's the best way to outreach and grow your diversity. So I want to touch on the perks again. So from a headquarters perspective, and you mentioned some of this already, Shamika, that you all have a membership automatically as an employer, which is cool because you said you can go to any invited club's facility with your membership and get those benefits as an employee. Are there any others that you'd like to share?
Well, we have traditional medical benefits. We actually have some like corporate discounts too. So like we have a company that I guess we do affiliate work with to offer our members like cruises. We get like weekly like emails, stuff in Dominican Republic. We get super low rates. It's a really pretty 5-star resort there. So just think about like when people are trying to sell or advertise to over 200,000 members, we get the same perks because we're members. So if it's like Dell computers and just all kind of perks through like, again, our member experience kind of thing, we get those as well. Normal health insurance, depending on where you work, you have opportunity for a bonus. I was there 6 months, got a bonus. I was like, oh, this is just great, and I think, traditional things, an employee assistance program, as far as like, if you need some mental health counseling, you get some free, maybe 6 or so visits for free and other things that the employee assistance. But we also have an employee fund. So for emergency hardships, like you had a funeral or a fire, so like we're probably getting ready to have applications because of the hurricane. We had clubs in the path of that. So, and of course, when it floods in Texas or, so we have a fund for just emergency hardships when our employees fall on hard times. So I think that's a great benefit. My previous company that I came from, when we launched that was just great because you don't have to worry about, how am I going to fix this? And so we raised about maybe $3 million a year for this fund. And it's through events that under my, programming area. But we asked members like, hey, during the holidays, put into this fund for, employees. And so it helped a lot during COVID. So because the clubs were closed. So how do people get money? So I think for companies to have that type of benefit as well, I think that's also a very good plus as well.
Now, how about you, Clay? What are some of the benefits you've experienced? Any additional benefits, I should say, that Shamika didn't cover working at the green grass facility?
I think she covered pretty much all of them. That bonus was nice, but I mean, I think it's just access, especially on the corporate side. We have corporate employees come play our course all the time. They can bring many guests as they want, and it's all comp. And I'm like, and we charge $130 per player, so that's a pretty good deal there. But like I say, just access to the different golf courses. Like Shamika said, we all got over 204 golf courses that we manage. So just access to all those different courses, and really just a career in golf. Whether if you want to, stay in Dallas or if you want to go to Houston or wherever you want to go, there's a club there, and we can connect you with the GM there and get you plugged in, transfer you over. It's been pretty simple. I'm actually trying to get it's a black assistant that I probably shouldn't say this, but I ain't gonna say that.
I know.
I ain't gonna say that, but yeah, I'm trying to get some transfers over here, but it's a simple process, and I just think that the benefits here, you get your typical corporate benefits, but then you also get your benefits to the golf course and being able to play on some of these pristine golf courses, and we even got the Club Core Charity Classic. You get access to that event here in Texas, and just being a part of Invited.
Jamie, I thought of one more benefit. So we just started last year a program called Rise. And so you can apply to be in the Rise program. And what it does, so for like at the club level, say I really want to be a GM in the future. So they have like literally hospitality training at UNLV that we pay for. So that, or, is I want to, maybe work on my leadership skills, but they have lots of like in business area, operations area, but you can apply to be in that program and then take the classes at UNLV and get your certificate in whatever the track was. And so that's something that's also a benefit, that educational piece is not like a 4-year degree, but you're also saying that I've taken like another level of education and learning and trying to train in this field, so that, like Clay said, I might not have the PGA certification, but I went to UNLV's program, which is highly rated in hospitality, and I have a certificate that shows I've done these courses that may put you over the edge for a promotion, or again to help you get to where you're going in the future.
Actually, I'm gonna feedback as well. She made me remember. So most clubs are gonna have a PGA assistance fund to help you pay for your PGA education. At my course, they pay 60% up front, and then they reimburse you the other 40% once you get through your levels. So, and I'm pretty sure most clubs have some kind of assistance program to help their assistant professionals get through the PGA program, as well as good perk you get here. You can be on a staff program with one of the top manufacturer companies. Club Core, Invited, we partner with Callaway. So I'm on staff with Callaway, and a couple of my assistants on the staff with TaylorMade. We got Titleist, Cobra, Puma. That's one of the perks there. And then just we have a small clothing allowance, but they do give you clothes. Make sure you're looking the part as well. And so those just a couple more perks as well.
Can you just briefly elaborate on when you said on staff? Because I know what that means, but I just want to make sure the audience understands, like, what does that entail if you're in Team Callaway, on staff with Team Callaway? What is it that you have access to, and what are some of the perks?
Yeah, so being on staff means they equip you with all their latest equipment. So you get a whole new set of irons, you get the new woods, wedges, and putter. You get a bag, and you also get, I want to say 12 dozen golf balls a quarter and like 6 dozen gloves. So they're pretty good with sending golf balls and gloves and hats, and then as well as your full bag.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, everybody knows if you go on Google prices of equipment, that's a huge benefit. And it's actually pretty hard to get out of that. That's one of the things that makes it hard to get out of the golf industry. So once you're used to getting those things for free, you do not want to pay for that stuff, especially when you realize how much it costs. One thing I wanted to also touch on that you mentioned, Clay, earlier when you were talking about the benefits is you said there's a lot of corporate members. So meaning there's companies that have memberships and they can bring their clients and their staff and whomever. And I think that's a benefit that we don't always think about in regards to, you know, at a private club, especially, you're seeing people who are CEOs of major companies and just movers and shakers in your community. So even if you're, you know, cleaning the golf carts or, you know, carrying people's bags from their car to the golf cart, you're getting to engage with those people every day at your job at the golf course, and it potentially could have an opportunity that may not lead to playing golf. It could lead to whatever opportunity you need it to lead to, but just interacting with those people and them seeing you and getting familiar with you. So that's a huge perk, I think, that people don't think of when you work at a golf course. And that could be for anybody, whether you're a young person, you know, just kind of coming up, or a person who's, you know, semi-retired or not even retired, just wanting to do something to make a little extra cash and get some free perks. You know, you just never know who you can meet at the golf course who could really make a difference in your life. So you all gave us some great information. I want to just make sure everybody, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. We're going to be wrapping up soon. But this is, you know, every time I talk to invited clubs, I'm always like, man, I need to apply for something. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm kind of in my world right now. So, but you guys always make it seem fun to work there, and that it sounds like a great benefit. So just to wrap things up, unless there's any questions, I'm gonna let Shamika, well, both of you all can just share some takeaways that you want the audience to know in regards to, one, when is best to apply for opportunities at your facility, and where to go to apply for those opportunities, and things of that nature. So actually, I'm gonna start with Clay, and then I'm gonna let Shamika wrap it up.
Well, at the golf course, mine in particular, I'm hiring all the time. But I'd say the best times are, you know, right before our busy seasons in the spring and in the fall. We do a lot of outside tournaments in the fall and in the spring. So, and then the summer job as well. But pretty much throughout the year, you can go to invitedclubs.com, go to careers, type in, you know, your zip code that you're in. I'm in Plano, Texas. If anybody's on here in Plano wants to come to Clubs of Prestonwood, you know, just type in 75093 and our course will come up, and we got a list of positions there. And I'd love to sit down and talk with you and see how we can get you going here.
And as Clay said, we are always hiring. Again, it's a huge portfolio of clubs. So you can imagine, even at headquarters, there are like 400 employees, but again, not all based in Dallas. So we have opportunities. They create roles every day. So if you don't see something, continue to check back. I will also encourage people, if you're, you know, kind of not sure, you think you want to work in golf, there are always volunteer opportunities. We have a tournament. Actually, we have 4 PGA Tour tournaments on our properties. And even if you just have to fly for, you know, that week somewhere, but look at volunteer opportunities as well, to work some of the tournaments, so you can get kind of a feel about, like, okay, well, let's see how this is, like, especially day to day, like, especially in Texas, because it's hot. So I'm sure Clay has to be outside a lot. And so just knowing that you don't have to kind of know what you want to do, I think you can explore that through, you know, internships, as well as, you know, just kind of being around some of these events, so you can see other roles that happen. But we even have somebody that does national tournament sales. That's all she does, is sell tournaments to our different properties. So again, I just feel like, you know, think about us. Like, when you're looking for a job, yes, you may want to work for IBM or Microsoft or Google, Amazon, but whatever that role is, I bet we have it at Invited as well. So just take a look and see, and keep in touch with us, because again, it may not be something now, but, you know, just remind us you heard about us on the Black Golf Directory career fair. And, we can definitely keep you in mind when we see things that open up.
Great. And I just have one quick comment from a partner of ours, Youth on Course. If an organization wants to get involved with Club Corp, and this is for Shamika, what can they do on a national, on a headquarters national level? Who should they contact, and how do they proceed?
Well, because it's Youth on Course, which I've heard of, you will reach out to me because it's a nonprofit, and we have to figure out what maybe the connection is and what you're trying to do. But we always welcome opportunities to definitely work with youth, especially because we're trying to, keep people playing golf, and introduce the game of golf to students that may otherwise not have that opportunity. And sometimes First Tee is not in their area. So we know you guys do a great job, Youth on Course, and also providing those opportunities to young people. So I don't know if you want me to give my email out. I don't know if it's something that goes out, Jamie, but I can reach out and we could set up a call just to see where there's some synergies.
Yeah, now I can share it in our email. So just as a reminder, everybody, if you just joined or if you didn't get the full interview, this is being recorded. It'll be shared in an email along with some contact information and job posting reminders for people. So I can include it there. And if you need to sign up for it, you haven't registered for that email, go to blackgolfdirectory.com. It is free. You just have to sign up. And tomorrow's the last day of our 2-week virtual career fair. So you have one more day to do this. So right when you get done, make sure you sign up so you can get the email information and contact information of the guests, as well as go to the invited website to look up any career opportunities. Thank you both. This has been so much fun. I love when I have you on. You all are so much fun to talk with, and always make your job sound and look exciting, because I think you are genuinely enjoying it. And I just thank everybody who joined in. And it looks like Shamika has something to say.
Yes, and I'm sorry for being petty, but he keeps shouting out Jackson State. I went to FAMU, so we want to shout out the other HBCUs in the building. So I just had to close with that. Thank you.
We can shout them all out.
All the hateration going on. FAMU forever.
That's the end. And thanks, everybody. We will see you all tomorrow for our final interview with Golf Digest. So one of our first publication interview tomorrow at noon right here on the blackgolfdirectory.com. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.